Am I the asshole for skipping my mom's vow renewal with my stepdad, who kicked me out when I was 17? So there's me, Chloe, 22 years old, staring at the ornate invitation. My mom, Susan, 48 years old, and Mark, 50 years old, my stepdad, the man who tossed my belongings onto the lawn like trash when I was 17, are renewing their vows. And I, the inconvenient daughter, am invited to be a bridesmaid. The sheer audacity of it all makes my stomach churn. It started with a stupid fight, a typical teenage drama. He'd snooped through my phone, reading texts from my then-boyfriend, accusing me of things I never did. Words flew, accusations like daggers, until he screamed, "Get out!" My mom, her eyes wide and brimming with a fear that wasn't for me, didn't intervene. She just watched as I gathered my few belongings, the icy rain mirroring the chill in her gaze. The memory stings, even now. The smell of damp cardboard and the weight of my backpack still haunt me. Aunt Carol took me in, her house smelling of lavender and old books, a stark contrast to the cold silence of my former home. College became my escape, a chance to rebuild, to distance myself from the lingering hurt. I talked to my mom occasionally, but it's strained, a fragile thread held together by guilt and obligation. When the invitation arrived, I felt a wave of nausea. The gilded lettering mocked the cheap plastic bag I'd carried my life in that night. The thought of standing there, smiling politely, pretending that everything is fine, while the man who treated me with such cruelty is showered with affection, was unbearable. I told my mom I couldn't be a bridesmaid. "Chloe, please," her voice cracked, laced with a desperation I hadn't heard before. "This is important to me, to us. It's time to forgive, to move on." But moving on isn't erasing the past. It's not pretending the years of hurt never happened. "Mom, it's not that simple," I said, my voice trembling. "I can't just forget how I felt, packing my bags in the rain at 17, with nowhere to go. It feels like you're asking me to pretend that his actions were okay." Her response was a torrent of tears, accusations of being selfish, of ruining their special day. She said I'm holding on to the past, destroying the family. She painted me as the villain, the daughter who couldn't forgive and move on. But forgiveness, to me, doesn't mean ignoring the pain, it means acknowledging it, processing it, and finding peace with it. And I'm nowhere near peace. The memory of that night remains, sharp and raw, like a jagged piece of glass embedded in my soul. Mark, of course, hasn't said a word. He just lets her do the emotional heavy lifting. That's always been his way. He hasn't even tried to reach out, to apologize, to acknowledge the damage he caused. His silence is as deafening as her pleas for forgiveness. Part of me feels terrible for hurting my mom. Another part of me wonders if she's really considering my feelings at all. Is she expecting me to overlook his actions, to erase them from my memory? It feels more like she's asking me to validate her choice, to bless her union with the man who broke my heart. So am I the asshole,